Okay, so today's meant to be when we start the dry and wet fast. But we've been having liquid today. That's first time wash. It needs to be second wash. But otherwise the kitchen's not too bad. From one perspective, that's to go outside for the other cats. From one perspective, we failed. But from our perspective, we didn't. We had food yesterday, and we were meant to be on the wet fast for 3 days. The night before we ended up having 4 wraps with yeast extract, 3 with yeast extract, 1 with honey, and it made us really bloated and full. And then yesterday, we ended up eating our cat's cat food. We have the applause, and it was just the tuna one. So we ended up having tuna in the wrap, which who we're in now we couldn't do. It just make us wretch. But we were in our Litlins or something, and they really wanted it. So, I mean, our thing is not to force anything. We probably could have forced ourselves not to have it. But there's deep fear that if we force ourselves not to have it, or if we force ourselves to do something, that eventually we'll get knocked out again. So there's fear around that, but then at the same time there's also not fear around it, because we don't want to force ourselves anymore. We've done our whole life mind over matter and forcing things, and it's been at the detriment to our health and well-being. And we don't want to do that anymore. And I think one of us manifested that we wanted to find a way to heal ourselves that wasn't through forcing, wasn't through willpower, because you hear all the people that are addicted to stuff and they manage to give it up, and there's still some of them that it's a constant battle every day not to take it, and we don't want to live life like that. Life's just the thought of living life in the past has just been a huge struggle anyway, and then it got into a massive struggle with all of this when losing our body, just really not known, how to cope with it. We'd struggled with our mental health our whole life. But we're understanding now that this is all part of our journey. Now, we could say it's our purpose, it's our calling, but I don't know, we don't quite believe in that still. But I don't know if that's just depending which altar we're in. If we're in our altars, they'll be like, yeah, we do believe in it. But we don't. We believe, if epigenetics, what Bruce Lipton says, it's all about belief systems. One of us was like, well, the aim's to have no belief systems then. It's like, okay, that's a pretty massive jump from someone that's got really domesticated, doctrinated. I think it's doctrinated, where it's like, it's in our family lineage, the church, the Catholic Church. And so there's some really deep, strong belief systems. So that's a massive jump. So it's about shifting, finding the little rungs on the ladder before getting to the top, having the little dreams to get to the wildish big dream, shifting the belief systems, and can then get into having no belief systems if that's still something that we want to do. But when we say stuff like that, it's not necessarily that that's then what we're going to put our life into doing. We are, I suppose we want to say our passion's drawing, art, nature, all those things, but our passion's connecting to our body, because we want to have no pain, and we want to be healthy, and we want to be happy, and we want to be connected. So our first passion is connecting to our body, and we know that's through our breath. So yeah, it's not calling, it's not a purpose, and we don't even know what we're talking about then anyway. But anyway, so we've had liquids today. We've had our maca turmeric powder stuff. We've had our homemade powder with the pea protein and the chlorella and spirulina. We've had some of our supplements. We've had our shungite. We've had our bacteria. And it's going to be okay, because it will be tomorrow. I imagine it'll be tomorrow afternoon we do the Enima, because there's fear around that, because we've only done it once before when we lived in our van, and it was agony. But we did eat I don't think we ate a pasty on the same day. I think we ate a pasty the day before, but it might have been like the night before, and then we did that in the morning. I don't know. we haven't read the instruction or anything again, but I'm pretty sure you're not meant to eat anything for 24 hours before doing it. So maybe we had the pasty that morning. We can't remember how close it was. Which, first of all, we'll probably have to find out how long you're not meant to go for food with. So if we did have food last night, we resisted it for ages, and then it was just like we can't resist it. If you, yeah, we just we can't really explain it. So we didn't have we've been tired, we've been whatever, and then we had it, and we were having trauma episodes, so it wasn't even worth putting the energy in to resist it. I don't even think we had the energy to resist it. Words are just so complicated to describe. Well, this is just really complicated to describe. It's been hard, and it's the 13th today, so we have gone 13 days with just eating fruit and minimal in those first, apart from these 3 days where it's meant to be a rep food. So that's 4 days we've ended up having food on, but the foods consisted of, on those 2 days with the fruit, when we were just eating fruit, it consisted of a piece of our homemade sourdough bread. But if our little ones are our body and they want it, then that's our body wanting it, meaning it's our body not wanting it, it's our body needing it. To help open up the certain tubes of blockages and congestions that the fused collarbone that used to point out the repetition of that pattern through the body, and then the head scar, the repetition of that pattern through the body, and then the scar on the jaw tissue. And this is all to do with the EDS. So anyway, yeah, we didn't fail. From one perspective we failed, but from another perspective it's like maybe that's actually what we needed, because we're learning to connect to our body, we're learning to understand what our body's needs are, and we've always been mind over matter, and we set these goals and these targets, but that's our conscious mind's belief of the goals and the targets, and we feel and believe it's our conscious mind that's got things all skewed and twisted, because that's all the domesticated conditioned programming from society, and man got things really wrong in our opinion. I mean, they started looking at man is greedy and it likes the biggest thing, but when it starts analysing with science, it starts looking at what's tangible and what's visible, and that's wrong and all backwards. So it's not us that's backwards, it's society that's backwards and behind. So yeah, we can't even really remember what we're talking as it's talking. It's just like our capacity is just really gone. But anyway, the funniest thing just happened, because we dug out all the memory cards from all our old mobile phones, and we've got old laptops and everything that we need to just make sure there's nothing on it that we want before doing whatever it is we're doing with it. And I suppose some of us want to learn how to do that as well. Obviously, we don't want to chuck it out in case there's photos on it. We've lost a lot of photos before in the past and stuff, and it makes us really sad. And I can understand that, because we don't remember things, so that's kind of like our memory. And I think altogether we've got like 9 mobile phones. We've got 2 that we're using at the moment because we're still switching between 2 phone numbers, which has been, I don't know how long that's been going on for. Not quite a year. We're still switching names and details like that, and that we started the process summer 2020, so that's 2.5 years. But it wasn't until March that we actually got the legal documentation back, so that's 2 years. It's coming up to almost 2 years. We're in February. A birthday on Wednesday, 2 days. It is, isn't it? So yeah, this time 3 years ago we were in the psych ward, and it's psych ward energies again. We've managed to air the house and sage the house and sit outside in the sun for a little bit today, and we sat outside in the sun yesterday for a little bit. And as I said, yeah, we did washing up. Nothing happened yesterday. We were rough yesterday, but after we ate, we managed, I don't know, something went on and it shifted something. It helped us shift something, basically. And I don't think eating can cause the chemical reaction, hence why some people eat when they're depressed, because especially sugar, because that changes the chemical reaction state. There's a chemical reaction that takes place in the body, and then that shifts the emotional state in the brain, and the emotions, and all. It's all connected. So what comes first, we don't know, but it has a connected, correlated effect. But it shifted something physically in the body, so we needed help shifting, because we've got all the knots and twists and stuff, so it helped doing something like that. And plus the chewing's good for the respiratory system. So with our jaw and everything that goes on, we might have needed to do that. You can always notice that gap. It's like, when's that gonna sort itself out? But that's the centre point that's gone off to the side and down, and yeah. But our hair's here. You can actually see it a bit here. It's look. It's you can see it used to go back right to there, balding, but it's starting to grow back now here. It's not quite as much on the other side, but that's the right brain hemisphere and the creative, and we are still not great wording again, but we are kind of still stuck in the creative, untangible, seen realms the majority of the time. It's funny, earlier it was like, so one of us was like, oh, you're not good at maths anymore. And then a little one was like, this is what's going on our head when we cleaned our toilet, because we've been sorting out direct debits on bank stuffs and that again today, which that's taken ages as well. Because some of us can't even read, some of us can't do ever. So we might if we go to do something, because that's what we've planned to do, but we can't read or do it, then it's like, okay, we're not doing that today. But it's still good that we went to do it, because we're facing that fear, and it gets whichever state or alters or little ones we're in, getting them familiar with the process as well, so that we can all kind of do stuff if necessary, because that's what we're going to need to do to live and life and have a business. But the hope is we'll start mastering max output, most ease, with the energetics that flow and an intuitive flow state. And we understand the multiverse multitasks, and the universe multitasks, but the universe is the singularity of the multiverse, and that brings a logistical, masculine, logical, or structured thing to it. And so that will start happening in this state. But I mean, we've lived our whole life mainly from the maths perspective, growing up with men and growing up with logic and growing up from our family, from society, from teaching, from academia. We never had a chance. We attempted to continue to do art and be creative, but all the dyslexia got in the way, because when we were at school and when we were at college, the dyslexia wasn't known. That wasn't until we were 19 and went to university. And then we got given loads of free stuff, and our dyslexia was rare. We got the most of everything, but no one taught us how to use it. So that didn't even really benefit us. It benefited us a bit, but it didn't benefit us in any other ways. And this is where it could be like, we could go into victim states perspective of that, or it's not fair, this, that, the other. No, some of us do that. But then there's the other ones of us that are like, well, no, this is all meant to have happened because it's our calling and our purpose. But then we don't agree with calling and purpose. It's like, what's the language that bridges the gap between these two? And we don't know yet, because we're not connected and we haven't bridged those connections or stuff parts in the body. But we're getting there. And so this is what this detox and process is about. Let me just show you the calendar. We have it all written down on the calendar as a guidance thing. So it's pretty much the whole of February, but it's a guidance thing. We don't have to stick to it. And if it's a conscious mind perceived mistake or failure, we know that that's just a place to grow more observations or witnessing and learning. And that's what we're doing. So, oh yeah, we were talking about mobile phones. And so we got all the memory cards out to kind of format them, because we bought a few memory cards for our first happened. Witness ourselves, because we were losing so much time, but their Wi-Fi, and then we got really paranoid, and that's what led us to NordVPN and the malware bites and everything. But then we haven't used them again. We couldn't really suss out how to use them properly, and there was an old friend who helped out best he could, but then that friendship ceased, like all of them. And so yeah, that didn't kind of happen anymore. I'm sure there's probably going to be some use for them down the line. The memory cards. That's why, of course, it's memory. That's what we're talking about. We were so aligned and present. So we formatted them, and we've got them because we're attempting to learn how to set up multiple cameras, which we did do for the box opening of the Lafruma cards. But we haven't. We have started on the new editing software, but that was really hard. But we did get one video out for that. But it was meant to be a short, and we made it go vertical, but it didn't turn up vertical on the thingy. So that was a bit disappointing. But that will happen again too. And there's so much stuff kind of going on, and I suppose mental note taking, there's just always stuff going on. But this is going to be the year, we've got a feeling, and it's exciting and it's scary. But at the moment, we can't even foresee any of that. And like yesterday was just a real day, but we understand we just got to ride through these emotions. And we're hoping these are some final chapters and layers of this detox program. And we're listening to Molly McCord talk about body parts and her astrology now. We've watched so many of the astrologers now like shifting and changing and bringing more stuff in. Like the world's ready for us now for what we're going to produce. We're still finishing up whatever it is we need to do to start producing it, but it's like our whole life's been divinely timed and divine order, whatever. But yeah, we're looking for the language. We're still not completely comfortable with that language. So the memory cards, we don't know, they were cheap, so we don't know if they're fake or not. So one of us has got it into our head, and probably from memory, that it says it's bigger than it is. Like it says it's 256 gigabytes or whatever, you know, the big one is. But actually it's only 32. And we haven't been able to suss that out yet because it's all in this programming. There isn't something you can suss it out on, but you've got to download something else. And it's just like, always unsure of all this stuff. So it's a long process. Everything's a long process. But true lifestyle change is a slow process. Slow and steady wins the race to a true lifestyle change. And so anyway, we took all the memory cards out of old phones to check photos on them. And then there were some photos of this place when we first moved in before the seizures, I think, actually. And then there were some with the seizures. And yeah, it's really interesting. It's hard. So that's fascinating. And the days that we got them and saw them then is synchronized as usual with all the numbers, and like, I mean, the amount of times we're writing something or reading something or doing something where there's something else going on in the background and words align, so we'll write down respect or receive or love or something else, and then that would be said at exactly the same time. Or, you know, there's just the alignments and synchronicities are just insane, which is awesome because that shows that we are synchronizing and aligned and everything. But the clarity still isn't there yet, but that's understandable. You know, it's, again, we've had all this our whole life and none of it's been recognized, and we found our own ways, but our own ways don't function the best. They're kind of like we're cowboy ways in a way. So yeah, when we count all the phones, mobile phones, because it's what device we use is assigned to us also which alternate personality we're in. And so we've got this new phone, which is just awesome and so much better than our other one. Our other one was smaller, lighter, because we just really struggled with anything with our hands. I mean, we still do now, but this is us doing our exercise. Everything for us is yoga. It's yoga, putting yoga into everyday life. And so holding our phone, doing things like that, the position that we're in, our breath, it's always going on. But it's really interesting noticing the difference in the weight and everything on the phone. But this got so much better options, and so we've upgraded our mobile phone. We've upgraded what it does, what it's capable of, which means our little ones are also growing up, because our consciousness and awareness and ability to, we still don't know everything it does. I don't think we ever really do, but all of that's growing up as well, which is fab. But so I'll switch over now. Hold on, we're just going to do this because we're going to show you. So this is the home Enima kit, which we've done once before, and we thought we'd get it out and wash it. But I don't know why, because it's not really dirty because it's only had water in it. So it's got everything here. I don't think that's what I'm sure we've got the thing for it. Yeah, we need to find that proper end. God, that's going to be interesting. I don't know if we'll be able to find the proper end that's smaller. That's a different type of end, but that looks scarily big. So we're going to read it. Yeah, I think that's the end, the smaller one. I'm sure we've got that somewhere. Hopefully it's somewhere really easy and obvious. So we'll be hunting that down tomorrow. We'll be reading this maybe tonight or tomorrow. No idea where we're going to set it up yet. There's like a hook there. I think we're going to have a bath later on. I'm hoping we are. I'm hoping that we can go and water the plants with our some seaweed mix and our period blood outside, and then the idea was to mow the grass after the bath, to barefoot to ground, because that's what we normally do. But I'm not sure. And the idea to have the bath before doing this tomorrow, and have that bit of exercise and movement after, and grounding after the bath. But again, this is our logical mind always thinking. So anyway, we got it out, and then it was like, well, it's not going to be very dirty, is it? And then we opened it up, and it's like, well, it's not like a hot water bottle. It's really kind of open. And then it's like, oh, there's something in it. And it's like, what's inside? And we looked inside, and look what's inside. Another blooming mobile phone. And it's like really small. If we measure it up to this, here's the mobile phone. We're putting it on here. I mean, it's not quite. It's like 1 2/3 the height of this phone. It does have a case on it, and it's almost the width of 2. So it's another mobile phone. But that's cool, because before it's like, oh, we've got 10. No, we've got 9 mobile phones, 9's physical completion in the physical, tangible, seen reality. And then it's like, it's 10. And 10 was the whole number of the psych ward. We were picked up outside by the police outside number 20, house 28. It was 28, the age 28 that we cycled John and Grace to Land's End and broke our collarbone. We were in room number 10 in the psych ward. That all relates to, so we started our internal reality meditation, waking up type thing with the 1111 portal in 2019, and then in 2020 it was the external collective agreement reality, conscious awareness intention, and that was an online group sound meditation, 6-week journey, once a week. And the people that were doing that used to come round to our house, and we feel that everyone's in denial about stuff, and they were in denial about stuff, and there was stuff they were in denial about themselves or not aware about yet, hadn't experienced, and that they accidentally took us too deep. But we're not going to get into that. They didn't know about it, but that's what we feel. And so we went too deep into all of this. But again, if this is our purpose and our calling, everything's happened for a reason. And so then they started the online group, because I think we were I don't know if it was mainly us, but we were pestering them to start it. And that then took us too deep again, and then really flipped us and put us in the psych ward, because we were in the psych ward for that, because that was started on the 10th of January, 1001, which is that 1010 number again, because 1010 is really 0110 or 1001 or 1010 or 010, it's all the different permutations of it. And it was the Cancer full moon and eclipse. And yeah, so when we were in the psych ward and stuff, we still did it when we were in the psych ward. And then we even started the second one. It was like from where we are now with our awareness and knowing about understanding of all this now, it's like we so wouldn't do that again. The energies weren't there. I mean, out of everything we've done online, that's been the least experience and the most expensive. And the people that the people we thought we would have trusted more around this type of stuff, because we knew them in the physical, tangible reality, and we would have trusted the internet less. But yeah, but actually it's turned out to be the opposite. It's really weird, but we needed all those experiences for this to happen type thing, and it's more of an energetic thing. So that's from one perspective again, but from another perspective of ours is there's certain things that we pay for, and then from the conscious mind's understanding, it feels like, oh, we didn't get our money's worth. But then another one of us is like, yeah, but that's not actually what we're paying for. We're paying for the subtle energetics that's going on behind the scenes, because that's what a lot of us are learning from, which I don't really still understand yet, which is the conscious eyes functioning in the moment when we say I. And so, yeah, we can't even go there yet. It's a bit confusing. So yeah, the fact that we've just found the 10th mobile phone, I think it's the smallest as well, in the Enima, which is going to clean out the other end of our colon, descending colon, large intestines. which is all to do with the processing of dyslexia, everything that we've kind of talked about now. Dyslexia, we had that assessment when we were 19. That's the number of pride. It's related to the sun in the tarot and Leo. 91 is the number of surrender. We've been surrendering to all of this. It's just, the connections are just insane in the membrane. So yeah, we're going to see if there's a memory card in this, and check that one. We haven't done that yet. We just wanted to kind of share this video, because hopefully our clarity, our emotional clarity, and our processing up here is all going to get better because of what we're doing in our gut brain with all this detox. But this detox is planned. Like, it's been 3 years since the psych ward, and there's been stages. This has all been preparing us for this. You know, we're not anyone that's just going to go into something like this and not do their own research and not prep themselves for it, you know, in a way is kind of asking for it. It's, you know, we've got to take things, we've all got to be self-accountable and self-responsible in any situation. So yeah, so we just wanted to share that because it's all momentous. So yeah, I wonder, we might post this, I think we might post this up on our Zanoni, because we've not done another one on Zanoni, and that was talking about waste. We did the short on there, didn't we, about it next to the willow tree, of we're handing our waste over to the multiverse, and then it had all the rubbish bags, and this is another waste product, but it's the waste product from the human body, one of the elimination systems, rather than the waste product of humanity. We had bin men take our bin today for the first time in like 3 weeks. And we did, didn't we? We kept telling them not to, because we wanted to save the bin bag because there wasn't much in it. And then we didn't get this bin out today, time to do it, but we got it out now. So yeah, it's such a treasure hunt and a puzzle thing, but we are really we're interested and fascinated to see what happens at the end of this. But it's good we don't have to clean this now, do we? No, I don't think we do. You're happy about that, aren't you? Yeah, we remembered it being like a hot water bottle, and we thought it's going to have a small bit at the top, but we didn't realise you'd be able to just put everything in it. It just smells like a hot water bottle. Yeah, I think it's fine. We can just rinse it with some water before, but I think, yeah, we're going to put like kombucha and coffee and all kinds of things up there, and our bacteria stuff. I know you've got lots planned, my lovelies, haven't you? Yeah, but we know about the bacteria though. Yeah, you remember from our herbs in the bath that time. Yeah, oh yeah, that stank. That's horrendous. Yeah. Dito potatina. By the way, my lovelies, it's so grateful to see you and hear you. We've not heard you for all day, have we? No. We're going to go now. When they come out, it's a sign that we've gone deeper and more connected. Well, fingers are like what it's like when you're in a bath, but we've not been in bath for a while. You see it, all wrinkly. That's the peripheral nervous system, isn't it? Yeah, that's what the willow tree we just talked about help us with. A branch fell off and we got it in our pelvis in Mr. Big Bones. And Eve, and she say about things. I think it was for us. I don't think the reading was for us. No, but you know, like, oh, you mean Geb, our birthday on Wednesday? Yeah, or Horus. Yeah. And Tito Popomomo. Yeah, some of the branches fell off and one got stuck. I think it's still in the bathroom actually. One got stuck in our jumper. Oh, there it is. And fell on the floor. It didn't fall on the floor here. It fell on the floor here because it made a noise. And we go by, a lot of us go by sound, and it's normally condensation dripping from up there. But it turned out it wasn't. We've been cleaning the toilet today because it's been a root chakra day, and the toilet and the kitchen is the root chakra, because the root chakra and the red came up to do with something when we were doing something else, but we can't quite say all that because we're learning how to be appropriate and stuff. It's so hard. It's a system that we're using to do with the rainbow, and the red came up, but we use the rainbow on like lots of things, but we're gonna have to start shifting that and changing it. But yeah, I think it was the Geb. Our little ones were just talking about the branch falling off, and I think it was the Geb, which was latest to the Aquarius part of February when we're born on Wednesday, in that reading of Eve's, and so that got caught in this holy jumper, holy grail. No, I don't. And then it kind of fell off. So it's because we had to lean over it to turn one of the lights off or something. But anyway, I think we've got to go and relax and have an emotional shift now that we've like done that. But we'll upload this, I think, to our Zanoni Snowflake channel. It might be a bit long, no one might watch it, but that doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. Look at all our... You see, we've become a mum. Hold on, we're going to turn it. We realised we living out our dream already because we wanted to be a mum, and we wanted to have all like whole food drawers and stuff like this. And that's what we need. Clean top of fridge. Yeah, we do. And we're doing it already. But we're the mummy to ourselves, aren't we? Yeah, we're the mum to you guys. We've been our healthy mum and our healthy father and all those grandparents, all those energies that we didn't have. But we are doing bloody well with all our different moon waters, a few more jars. Just living out the dream already. The whole house and the garden and everything do. It's all practice for building our own house and being self-sufficient and living off the land, but actually now we understand and know our capabilities, and our things, and it's taken us a long time to get there. We just felt a vibration go right down, but then it stops, and then it goes down, then it stopped, and it went down to our pubic bone. That's good news. It's Scorpio today. It's up on Momo. Yeah, we've been listening to Sedna as well, haven't we, on Molly? Yeah, he's up on Popo. Okay, we've got to go because it's getting a bit much. But if you do watch this, hey, thanks for listening. There's going to be some great stuff coming out soon. But we say soon, but it might not be for a season. Soon is very abstract with us. Because you talk because when the one of us said it was not good at maths, the other one was like, we didn't finish that, I don't think. We are good at maths. Some of us are good at abstract maths and some of us are good at logical maths. But it's all going to be bridged soon. Yeah. See ya.